here once again as usual, and welcome back to Mailbag Monday for June the 16th, 2014. I hope everybody had a good week and a good weekend. Mine was really good. Small haul again this week, but we'll see what it all is. Could be some exciting stuff. I want to give a quick shout out and a thank you to Paige over at Enchantology is her channel. About midweek, she gave me a really nice plug on one of her videos, and I woke up, I think Wednesday morning, to this like flood of new subscribers. I'm like, where did all these people come from? And eventually I found out. So thanks very much, Paige, and I hope you enjoy the Alistair Reynolds books. So go check out Enchantology if you get a chance. All right, well, let's just dig right into these and see what we've got, shall we? And a thing from Penguin that feels stiff, so we'll see. Okay, this is from Daw. It's Elisha Magus by E.C. Ambrose. It's the second book in a series. First volume was Elisha Barber, and here's what it's all about. I think, if memory serves, I did get the art for this, maybe about a month ago, so, but anyway, here we go. It's the second novel of the dark, energetic, historical fantasy series, set in an alternate 14th century Europe, the home to terrifying witchcraft and necromancy. The Dark Apostle series follows Elisha's story as he begins to discover and play a pivotal part in the secret magical conflicts influencing the calamitous history of the late Middle Ages. Elisha, a former barber surgeon, worked night and day tending to the wounded soldiers and protecting them from Lucius, the haughty physician he serves under. But even so, he found that he had a talent for a surprising and deadly sort of magic. And this led to war and all kinds of conflicts. And now here in the second volume, his adventures continue. All right, well, I think this looks really neat. I like that historical fantasy, is continuing in popularity. I've read some really good ones over the last several months. David Walton, Mark Chadburn are guys who do this sort of thing. Stories that are set in an alternate Earth's past, and I like the idea. So this is Elisha Magus now in hardcover. A new book from Pyre, Prometheus Books. So the author here is J.F. Lewis. It's an arc for a new novel called Grudgebearer. And as you can see here, you got a rather grudge-bearing looking guy on the cover with his dragon. Let's see who it is he bears a grudge against, shall we? Okay, full of action and adventure, humor and wit, and yes, carnivorous elves, because you can never have too many of them. Grudgebearer is fun, but also a weighty work with complex and concurrent themes. Colster is the firstborn of the practically immortal Aether. A-E-R-N, a race created by the Eldrenai, say with these fancy names, as warrior slaves to defend them from the magic-resistant reptilian Zaur. Maybe this is one of them in the background here. Unable to break an oath without breaking their connection with each other, the Aether served the Eldrenai faithfully for thousands of years, until the Sundering. Now, the Aether Veil... Are you keeping track of all this? From Pyre, J.F. Lewis's Grudgebearer. Comes out September 2nd. It's really faded, but this one looks like it says Macmillan. Okay, everyone, this is a book called Overlord, and it is the latest novel in a series called The Event Group. It's a series of thrillers. They're not really marketed as SF. You'll tend to find them in the mainstream fiction section. But David L. Goleman has done several of these, and I guess they're pretty popular. But this is the most recent one, then, Overlord. It comes out July 15th, and let's see what it's all about. Okay, so in the latest event group thriller, the end of days is upon humanity. Invasion has arrived. Some speculate that the war between the worlds began 700 million years ago, while others say it started in 1947 in Roswell, New Mexico. Regardless of dates, the war is now upon us, and after centuries of watching, the enemy attacked. The plans of a million years are finally ready for what we have always known was coming, Armageddon. Okay, now, granted, this is all escapism and everything, but, I just, and I don't want to be unfair because, I haven't read the book, obviously, but, there are just some things here that are kind of challenging my suspension of disbelief a little bit. I mean, a 700 million year war. I mean, if you've been at war for 700 million years, at a certain point, wouldn't you, forget why you were at war? Who would be left to kill? And then there's this whole thing about the plans of a million years. What takes a million years to plan? Again, evolution, right? I mean, did these aliens just start thinking up their invasion plans the minute they evolved sapience or something like that? I mean, was it, well, you know, you see that planet up there? I mean, I really think that we ought to just go invade that planet. So, yeah, good idea. A problem, though, I mean, our brains are really tiny, and we still have gills, and these fishtails are kind of getting in the way. Don't you think maybe we ought to, you know, let that problem deal with itself first? Yeah, fine, whatever. But look, I mean, that planet, look, it's just there. It mocks us. It's pissing me off. We ought to take care of that planet. All right, just calm down. We'll do it. But, I mean, look, seriously, gills? I mean, come on. So, yeah, you know, I mean, it's a little bit shaky, perhaps, on the believability thing, but maybe that's just the back cover blurb. The books could be fun. But as you see, these aliens, they're invading us, except maybe for this guy who crashed his spaceship like an idiot, so at least we won't have to worry about that one. Trouble, otherwise, the rest of the fleet is coming for us in Overlord by David L. Golemon, the latest event group thriller novel. And last one here is another one from Penguin. Okay, well, these are coming out rather quickly. This is The Seed of Magic. It's by J. Kathleen Chaney, and it's the sequel to a book that I only got just a few months back called The Golden City. Again, it's in my stack with a million other books. I thought I really liked the look of that, and here the sequel's already out. So maybe, again, this can be sort of another twofer that I pursue, you know, one book after the other in reviewing them. The Seed of Magic. Let's see what this one is about real quick. So I have to read this very carefully so as not to avoid spoilers for book one. But basically the idea is that the main character, Oriana Paredes, is a mermaid. She's a mermaid and a spy in the Golden City. And she, I guess, works with this fellow Dulio, who is a wealthy gentleman who works secretly for the police force. So I guess they work together to, you know, deal with whatever kind of, you know, threats are plaguing their state, as it were. It says it is sure to appeal to fans of historical fiction as well as fantasy, with its ethereal setting in an alternate Portugal at the turn of the 20th century. So again, like Elisha Barber, this is another one of these you know, historically inspired worlds. Anyway, the world that Chaney creates is organic and alive, with familiar creatures like Sereia, these mermaids, Selkies, and water nymphs. I'm already liking this because, you know, this kind of thing is already perking up my attention because, again, it's not the usual fantasy tropes here. You have the creatures are water-based, so that's different. And then you have, again, an alternate historical, granted it's a European setting, but it's Portugal. It's not Britain or France. It's not any of the places that we're used to seeing historical fantasy settings inspired by. So there already are, I think, enough, you know, original little elements to what Ms. Chaney is doing here that I think I would really like to pursue her story. So let me know if you'd like me to read The Golden City and The Seed of Magic. And that's all we got for this week, guys. Again, check the channel for new videos, new reviews coming up this week. Again, welcome and thank you to all of my new subscribers, if you came here from Paige's channel or otherwise. And until I see you next time, thank you once again for joining me. Please like, share, and sub if you enjoyed watching. And until I see all of you guys next time, have a great week and happy reading.